a lot of you were interested in me making a video on the Professional Cloud Security Engineer certification from Google. So let me start with my experience. I've actually began working at this Cloud Security Engineer certification. I think it was sometime late last year. That's why I've actually completed the first two courses. So I completed the core infrastructure Google Cloud Fundamentals course, and then I completed the networking in Google Cloud defining and implementing networks course. I might do a separate video review on each one of them, but that remains to be determined in the future. I might also share my notes from these two courses because I find that sharing notes for different courses from other people, especially when I'm learning deep learning and machine learning, there have been these people who posted their notes on GitHub, and it's extremely helpful, especially if you're dealing with hard courses such as the ones from the Specialization by deeplearning.ai, which a lot of courses are taught by Andrew Ng, but that's a story for another time. So, professional cloud security engineer. Why did I start working on this? Because if I'm actually doing penetration testing on Google, I want to know what it is all about. That's the first reason. Now, the second reason is that cloud and everything cloud is not only the present, is not only extremely important in the present day, but it's also going to be really important in the future because everything is cloud nowadays. And you have at least three big players when it comes to cloud. You have AWS, you have GCP, so Google Cloud, and you also have Azure. And sort of like you have smaller players alongside, such as I think it's maybe DigitalOcean, maybe IBM, which has a lot of other powerful features. I think IBM could be said that it's in the pool of big players. But anyways, I started it because I wanted to understand how cloud works, especially how Google Cloud works. And I also wanted to understand the infrastructure of Google because when I pen test on Google assets, this is going to help me tremendously. And not only to understand, better said, I want to understand everything at fundamental levels. So you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here. I was incentivized to start this and I think I was more motivated to start this because I got my first month for free and then I paid for the second month. So I'm not really sure if it still applies today, but you might check it out. So you have this get started with Google Cloud at no cost, and then you have start learning. And I think it still applies. So you'll probably get this January. You'll probably get 1 month for free. So let's go back. You should check it out. So the certification is actually, you have to take the certification exam after you prepare for this certification. Now, you want to be a Google Cloud security engineer, you'll have to pay $200 for the certification exam, and the exam format is multiple choice and multiple select. Delivery method, so this is going to be a proctored exam. You could also you could take it as an online proctor exam and an on-site. So there are no prerequisites, but it's probably highly recommended to actually do the courses that are in the preparation for this cloud security engineer, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in a minute. So first, actually you're going to start understanding it now. You have this is actually the overview. Review the exam guide. Now the training, you want to follow the learning path, and this is what I'm talking about. Then you might want to take a webinar. You have additional resources. You have sample questions, which are really helpful because they actually simulate the exam environment. And then you have to schedule your exam. Now, you can also follow the Cloud Security Engineer learning path. And what is this all about, you may ask? It's about, so we have a nice overview here. You have the Google Cloud Fundamental Core Infrastructure course, which I've shown you here that I've completed, and let's actually see if we can have a better breakdown of it. But then again, so you have this learning path, and this actual learning path, you have the security engineer learning path and you have the network engineer learning path. And this security engineer learning path is formulated as a specialization on Coursera. Let's see if it takes us there. Maybe if we do the start now. So the campaign has ended. Anyways, going back to the basics. So you have the Google Cloud Fundamentals Core Infrastructure. If we click on Learn More, it's probably going to take us to Coursera or not. If you click on Join to enroll on this course, still not gonna take us to Coursera. Interesting. So let's see if on Coursera we can check the syllabus or the syllabus for the course. Course 1 of 6 syllabus. Yes, so we can view the full syllabus. Let's see if it actually is synchronized with everything here on cloudskillboost.google. So you have introducing Google Cloud Platform, right? Getting started with Google Cloud Platform, virtual machines in the cloud. Yeah, so it's actually basically the same thing. I think it's better if we look at it here. So you have a lot of videos. This is actually week 1, and I believe there are 2 weeks for this course. So week 1, you learn about basics or fundamentals of Google Cloud Platform. You learn about virtual machines, storage, which is really important, and containers and containerized environments. It's really, really important. And then you have applications in the cloud. I think here it talks about the app engine as a platform as a service. Still on week 1, developing, deploying, and monitoring in the cloud. Then you learn about their big data framework, and that's ironically speaking, that's all for week 1. Where is week 2? Or is it just, it probably is just only 1 week? Yes, so it only is week 1. If we go to week 1, we may be able to see or not. We cannot see the grades I got on the quizzes and the labs. And what's really interesting about this is that their labs are served via let's see, one lab, graded external tool. Yes, so their Quick Labs is another acquisition of Google, and their labs are served via Quick Labs. Let's actually look if we can see my grades. It wasn't, this course isn't hard, because if you go through the materials at your own pace, it's going to be relatively easy to take the quizzes and do the laboratories. And you should always I remember that I had to take time to actually do the laboratories because some of the laboratories or some of the labs, you need at least 30 to 45 minutes to complete it. They give you the most, I believe one of the longest labs was a 2 hour lab, and that actually took me more than 1 hour. So you should be uh, saving time ahead when you think that you're gonna take a lab. Let's look at the grades. So it's not stellar. I also had 83%. Some of the labs 75%, 87%, 83%, 80%. So I don't want to be like, I just want to get a good passing grade. 75% may not be the best, but it's still a passing grade. Overall, I did a good job on this one. Now going back, so let's not actually lose the bigger picture, and let me see, I don't want to make this video too long because this is a review video. So we're already 11 minutes in. Now on Coursera, the specialization, if we look at it, preparing for Google Cloud certification specialization, these are the ones that are completed. So this is the specialization. It's the same thing that we have here. You have the Google Cloud Fundamentals Core Infrastructure course. Really interesting, really important. You have the networking in the cloud, and this is where it talks about the virtual private cloud. It talks about firewall rules. Let's look into the syllabus. So, where is it? The syllabus for this second course. Networking in the cloud. And you also have networking in Google Cloud, hybrid connectivity, and network management. In this case, you have defining and implementing networks, the first one. And you learn about how to configure VPC networks, subnets, routers, and control administrative access. This is all about permissions. And when it comes to penetration testing, for example, I find that I get the most bang for the buck when I look for authorization, permission, business logic flaws, because I just told a friend yesterday, I just told one of the people that I'm working with yesterday that I don't have an affinity to actually look for input validation issues. There might be here and there, but I don't look for them for stuff such as XSS, XSC, for SQL injections, and for other sort of for SSRFs. I don't look for that stuff because I don't like them, and I also think that a lot of input validation issues such as XSS, for example, are already taken over by automation, and it's hard to find something that actually is a valid bug as an XSS. You can still find it, but I personally don't like it. Now going back to here, you also learn how to control network access to endpoints in the VPC. You also learned about Google Cloud Delivery Network to reduce latency and save money. This is where you learn how to implement efficiently rules so that if you're working for a company as their infrastructure, cloud infrastructure guy, you'd be able to actually save them money by implementing efficient Google Cloud infrastructure strategies, if I can put it that way. All right. This course takes approximately 9 hours to complete. It's 100% online. This is intermediate level. So of course, this isn't, and I didn't say it from the very beginning, this isn't a beginner level certification. You should know a lot of stuff about networking. You should know a lot of stuff about the cloud environment, because even though you might have a slightly gentle introduction here, the proverbial shit actually hits the fan in the as you go through the courses, and it's not a light learning path, so to speak. Even though I've said that you won't have issues in taking the quizzes and doing the labs, in passing them, if you maintain proper attention while you learn. But, and the big but is, this is something that you have to come in with an established knowledge base in everything that has to do with cybersecurity, especially when it comes to networking and cloud environments. Now, back to the beginning. So the second course, networking in the cloud. Then you have a skill badge. So the first two of them are courses, and then it's a skill badge. I think this is actually done, because I haven't done it, is actually done via Quick Labs maybe. It's a 7-hour investment. You need 34 credits to actually get it. What do I do when I finish this quest? After finishing this quest, you can explore additional content in your learning path or browsing the learning catalog. So now you need not to lose the higher perspective, and the higher perspective is that all of this is the purpose of all of this is to actually prepare you for the Google Cloud Network Security Professional Certification. You can also take this preparation or this specialization on Coursera without actually having to take the exam, because you learn a lot meanwhile. But it would be, I think, now what I can say for certain in my case is that if I keep on doing the courses, and if I'm going to put on the work to actually do this, because this is going to be an investment for me to actually keep on doing the specialization here, all the courses here, I'm going to have to pay at least $50 a month so that I can actually have access to everything. I think you can just audit these resources, these courses for free, but I don't think it makes any sense. I personally find that if I don't invest money into something that I'm doing, I'm very little motivated to actually finish it. Now, so you have a skill badge as number 3. When it comes to, let's see, let's go back. In this case, so you have 7 courses on the specialization: networking in the cloud, hybrid connectivity, and network management. Let's see if it actually synchronizes. It doesn't. Now, you have another course, security in the cloud, managing security in the cloud. So this is in the cloud. This is course number 4. Then, so we're gonna actually rush through. Then you have another skill badge, ensure access and identity in Google Cloud, and this is all about IAM in Google Cloud. If you've been doing, or if you have experience with AWS, you know what IAM is, and you know about the very high importance of IAM when it comes to managing access as a sort of an entity in a cloud environment. So this is a skill badge, and then you have another skill badge, secure workloads in Google Kubernetes, and Kubernetes is big. So in this case, skill badge, courses. So 2 courses, another course, 3 skill badges. Now, when it comes to, and what I suggest you do is to actually invest in the preparing for Google Cloud certification specialization, because after course number 4 you have security best practices, and even though this might sound boring, it's really important because you don't get to actually know this in a lot of formal courses. Number 6, mitigating security vulnerabilities on Google Cloud. This is also going to help you if you're on an both an offensive and defensive position in your career, because if you're on a defensive position, it's gonna teach you how to actually not only prevent but also how to actually mitigate issues that arise when it comes to security. And if you're in an offensive position, you will understand the types of current security issues that can happen in Google Cloud environments. Google Cloud, not Google Cloud. Course number 7, hands-on labs in Google Cloud for security engineers. And of course, you know that I am all in for hands-on learning. This is probably a very practical course. If we look into it, if we look into the syllabus, let's see, the syllabus, it's all about labs. So in this lab, in this module, so this is an introduction, 1 hour VPC network peering, setting up Viper private Kubernetes clusters, another lab, another lab. So you have 2, 4, 6. What I need to tell you is that if you take these from Coursera, you will not have to pay for quick labs because everything is going to be provided, or at least this is what happened with when I took my first 2 courses. The labs are are served through quick labs. So quick labs. Let's see. The labs are served through quick labs, and the quick labs is a paid service. You might have some free resources here. I think you have a lot of free resources because Google is kind enough to provide a lot of free education to people worldwide, but sometimes you have to pay for them. And if you take the courses and the network, the specialization or the preparing for Google Cloud certification via Coursera, these labs are going to be served to you for free. So highly recommend that. Okay, I think this video went for too long now, so this is actually my intake, my current intake, or my current take on the Google Cloud Security Engineer certification as of current. And I'm really hopeful that I'm going to resume my learning on Coursera uh, very soon, because I have a lot of stuff right now. I'm doing a lot of penetration tests, and I'm also doing a lot of work on different career areas of my life. So I don't have too much room to actually learn other than study from certain books. When I'm full blown learning, I'm actually learning via multiple ways, via courses, via hands on practice, via bug bounties. But now I'm only prioritizing the most important, and that's via studying from books. Now, as you can see, I've actually done a mistake when I said that it's $50 a month. It's actually $40 a month, and you might be applying for financial aid available. But either ways, I think this would be a really good investment, or at least it is for me. Now, there's also this include with Coursera Plus. Let's see what this is all about. Complete multiple courses and earn credentials in the short term. So if you're actually pursuing multiple specializations or courses on different areas on Coursera, you might be using the Plus Monthly, which is a $60 investment. If you're doing a single learning program, this is probably not monthly, but a one-time payment for an entire specialization. So in my case, if I cannot complete all the courses in 1 month, it would be better for me to buy this single learning program if I want to finish the specialization and actually take my time. So if I take more than 2 months to finish this, it's a well worth investment. And then you also have the annual. So I think they're on par with the folks at what was the company that actually gives you a lot of courses when it comes to AI? Can't remember exactly. I think I've done courses with them in the past. But anyways, I digress. So this is it for this video.